to Dragon Ball Super Dope, or as it will be known today, I suppose, Super Dope Plus Ultra. My name is Kyle. Thank you for checking this out. I'm joined today by my friends Kelly. How are you, Kelly?
I am amazing. I'm definitely feeling very plus ultra.
That's
Thank
good.
you for asking.
Amazing is a pretty strong word. You could have just led with plus ultra. It would have been fine. And I'm also joined today by my friend Rayshawn. Rayshawn, how are you, dude?
I am doing marvelous.
All right, that's cool. You guys have such. I feel like I'm over here like tired. Could have used a nap today. Feeling a little run down. Like maybe I'm getting a cold. Y'all dudes come in amazing and marvelous. So I don't know.
You gotta fake it till you make it.
100% my motto.
That's been my whole life, guys. Anyway, actually, fake it till you make it was a piece of advice that you gave on a recent episode that we put out. So we had some questions at the beginning of this Boku no Hero Academia season about if me and Kelly were going to be doing Super Dope Plus Ultra again for each episode for a podcast this year. And the short answer to that is nope, we're not.
Sorry.
Nope, we're making advice now, and we have limited time to make shows. So having a good time with advice. Appreciate all the good feedback people are giving us, and all the praise, all the love, all the good reviews. But we've got lots of good reviews. So
That's amazing.
it's cool to know people are digging it. Yeah, like it's pushing the buttons I would hope that it would push for people. It's fun, it's light, it's entertaining. People laugh at it. They think we're ridiculous, which all very true, you know. But it's
true,
also
yeah.
it's something that's not anime specific, although we are always like 2 sentences away from bringing up anime in any given topic. Doesn't matter what it's about. We're always right there about talking about anime. So we figured this week, advice has been up now for, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks. We launched it. No Super Dope Plus Ultra. So we'd get together. We talk about these first 2 episodes of My Hero Academia Season 6. And talk about them a little bit. We'll do these intermittently throughout the season. It won't be an every week thing. Probably won't even be a once a month thing. But we'll have some thrown in here and there while I continue to do Dragon Ball stuff with Rayshawn, and we all continue to work on the Advice Pod on the other feed. If you haven't checked out Advice, go do that. There's a link in the show notes. You can subscribe. And we'll give you a little preview of some advice at the end of the show as well. But like...
Very nice.
Very different. It's like anime advice. It'll be fun. So wanted to start off the episode with, we're going to just read through the Wikipedia recaps of these 2 episodes. I didn't do like a beat it out list of, bullet points or whatever, but, we'll pause occasionally. You guys have comments, stop me. We'll talk.
I have so many comments.
Of course you do. Episode 114, season 6, episode 1, called A Quiet Beginning. It was directed by Tomo Akuba. No, I'm not going to do that shit. And written by...
Shit was fire!
Yosuke Karuda. I'm not going to do that. A month prior to the events of the incoming war, Hawks is approached by Twice, who asks him for advice. Hawks thinks about how the merged villain group was split into regiments, where each member was assigned as the leaders to individual units. In the present, a group of pro-heroes meet at the police force headquarters, where they plan to split into 2 teams during the war. At the Gunga Mountain Villa, Team Edshot awaits in the distance for their orders, aware that the front are currently holding their meeting. Once the heroes headed out to the city to evacuate the civilians, Burnin receives word of the front line's movements. At Jaku Hospital, Endeavor and the pro-heroes confront Dr. Ujiko. So, let's just pause right there. I'm about halfway through the synopsis, right?
Okay.
Team Edshot, Team Endeavor. I got to be honest with you guys. I remember that Edshot was kind of made to be a big deal in the beginning of the series, but
He's like the number 3 hero, I think, right?
yeah, he's up there.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's like number 3 or number 4. And for him to be leading the team, I was just like, oh, that's right, this guy. Cool. I'm glad I get to see him do something like outside of like these quick little battle scenes. I mean, he was probably involved in the compound raid for Chisaki in season 4, maybe, was he?
I don't even really recall seeing him, to be honest.
I feel like he might have been, but I could be wrong. I don't know. Either way, Team
Isn't he in a Isn't he in like
super
a
team.
group with Mount Lady and Kamui Woods? Aren't they all together like in a
Oh yeah, that's right.
Aren't they all in a little alliance or whatever?
Kamui Woods, he was there for like the Hosu incident
He was with that
in season
no
3.
move thing. Yeah. Yeah.
It's cool
We
to
never
see.
see Edgeshot really.
No, I think we see him literally like in the first 2 episodes teaming up with Mountain Lady against something. I'm like, that's it.
Mm.
I don't know. Good for him. I'm glad he got the respect and that he's leading it.
Good
Although,
for him. Good for you, buddy.
although I was kind of like, I would have reversed the two. You know, Team Edgeshot going to the hospital and Endeavor going to like the compound in the mountains. Cause like you want to have a jet burn shit up all at once, but whatever. They're pro heroes. They have like a better strategy than I've got. I just want to burn the world down, you know?
This title, A Quiet Beginning, was like, I mean, this episode was not a quiet beginning to the season. I think this episode was like so good. They like dropped us right into the action. I was so into it. Compared to last season's first episode, it was so good.
Dude, compared to last season's whole first half.
In general.
When I rewatched it again today, though, I took A Quiet Beginning to mean something else. Like it's a quiet beginning in that it's a sneak attack and the heroes are sneaking up on their bases or whatever. But, and I don't know this for a fact. You guys read the manga. I have not. I told myself I would in between seasons, but I, again, still don't know how to read. But
You're a liar. Yeah. Hands on fire.
I'm sure that's it. So there is this exchange in the beginning of the episode between Hawks and Twice. And Twice does seem like pretty, not trusting of other people that are involved in the Meta Liberation Army and all this stuff. People who aren't like League of Villains specific. And he just like shows some distrust to a couple of them. And Hawks does this whole thing where he's like, I knew it. I knew you were a good guy. And I'm like, wait a minute. Are you trying to tell me that Twice is going to do a double cross thing and he's going to be the secret to winning this whole thing for us? Because if so, that's the quiet beginning, is like the unspoken agreement or acknowledgement that these two are about to fuck these guys up from the inside together, hopefully.
It's a very interesting theory.
You know what that means? It's wrong. Okay, let's move on.
I do. Can I tell you a little thing about, we can cut this out if you want, but Hawk says something and I've been learning Japanese and I could translate it all on my own. I didn't even need the subtitles. He says kochira koso, and I know what that means. And I was like, oh, I'm learning. So sorry, I'm just patting myself.
What is it? What does it mean?
Technically, it means like to you, actually, but it's when Twice was thanking him and was like, you're a cool guy. Like, thank you so much for being so helpful. And then he's like, kochira koso, which means like I should be the one thanking you, actually.
Wow.
Yeah. I was just proud of myself.
Want to know what's great about you, Kelly? Is that every time I talk to you, somehow, each and every time, your degree of weeaboo grows even fucking higher.
Yeah.
Impressive.
I remember when we first started doing these and you were like, I didn't know you were like an closeted anime dweeb. And I was like, closeted? This is just my personality. I am very, very dweeby.
I don't think we've ever talked about it on a pod. We've probably done, I don't know, not quite 100 podcasts together, but we've done a lot of podcasts together over the last few years. I don't think we've ever talked about like how you got in the Super Dope rotation.
I don't
remember?
think I did either. I messaged you because I was like, I want to do a podcast and you do podcasts.
No, you fucking didn't.
What did I do?
This is what you did instead. This is a fun story that I didn't plan on sharing today. This is what you did instead. You became a member of the Super Dope Patreon. And I was like, a guy named Kelly signed up for my Patreon. That's weird.
Yeah.
And then I looked at the email address and it's like, oh, it's Kelly, blah, 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 all this information. And I'm like, why does that name sound familiar to me? Wait a minute. And then it took me like another 10 seconds to remember you from school. And then I went and matched the email address to your shit online. And I was like, okay, it's definitely the same person. That's weird. Is she like getting a Patreon to like make fun of me? Like, what's the deal here? So I messaged you like, did you just join my Patreon? Thank you, but what's that about? You're like, oh yeah, I don't really like Dragon Ball, but I like My Hero Academia, and I saw you've been doing that, and I was thinking about making a podcast, and I was going to ask you about it, but I didn't, and I just started my own podcast.
That I sound like?
Yes, that's exactly what you sound like. I've been editing your voice more than anyone else's voice. Well, I guess both of us, all three of us, but I've been editing our voices so much lately. Yes, I know how to do impressions of both of you right now. I can't do an impression of Rayshawn because that'd be racist, so I can definitely make fun of your voice.
Stop it.
I would love to
Well,
hear you do
anyway.
an impression of my voice.
I don't want to do an impression of your voice. I just want to do an impression of the
Off air.
Rayshawn sound. No, it's not how it goes.
Rayshawn's face.
Rayshawn, you know the sound.
I'm trying to.
Okay, sorry, we got a little off track there.
That's the sound.
Hmm.
Damn it, you missed. Nah, you made a new version of the sound just to undercut me. Okay, Ray. Back to these.
Ooh.
This is good. I'm glad we're not doing Plus Ultra this year because it's hard to focus. At Jakku Hospital, Endeavor and the Pro Heroes confront Dr. Ujiko. He tries to flee, but is restrained by Eraserhead's capturing weapon. Then he used his erasure quirk on Ujiko, causing his body to rapidly de-age and grow more decrepit.
Did Eraser get stronger, or did I misinterpret it? Because I thought he can only stop one quirk, or like one person at a time.
I feel like he's been able to stop multiple people in the past. I could be wrong. Kelly, do you know?
I think it's anyone he can look at, right? So if there's multiple people in his field of sight, but actually it's that I know he's actually gotten weaker since that incident with the original Nomu where his face was damaged.
Yeah.
And it's actually been like a part of the anime that it's harder for him to keep the eraser as long as he used to be able to. So it's a shorter period of time.
Interesting. I didn't realize that part was going on. I do love the pairing of him and Endeavor though. And like the whole time I'm like, yo, it's that easy to handle these Nomus. Why didn't we just do this from the start?
But see, the thing about that though, I feel like it makes him look more like a sidekick though.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
just
he even
call it out.
mentioned. Yeah. They were like, "You want to be my sidekick?"
But even
Like, nah,
it's
buddy.
still like, I don't know. I feel like ever since he helped them students, like where you were talking about those students by himself when he was actually kind of looking like a pro hero. Ever since then, it seems like he's always been in groups now. It's like they were like, we seen what you could do by yourself, and we don't want to see you like that no more. Like we do not need to see you like.
You know, he's not designed to be like. He's like an underground hero. He's not designed to be like doing huge, crazy combat. You know what I mean? He's really valuable. So I think that they realize,
his quirk is
we don't want to lose
crazy.
him. Yeah.
That's a nice quirk.
That first battle at the USJ, though, against that first Super Nomu,
So
before
good.
All Might shows up and saves the day, like that was the big thing about it. Was Eraserhead's not equipped to be dealing with guys like that, but he still held his own and then some.
Protecting his students.
Yeah, and that's another thing I've always loved about My Hero Academia. It's a cast of like 1,000 fucking characters that somehow you know and love all of them, but they're very economical, especially in these big group scenes or these big group episodes. It's basically 20, 30 seconds worth of screen time where it's like you see Eraserhead and Endeavor team up, take out these Nomus with these. You see it register with Endeavor where he's like, holy shit, this is awesome. We could just totally fuck people up together. Hey, you want to be my sidekick? It's still not too late, implying time has passed. You've kind of missed a window for your hero career. You could still get in here and make some money. Doesn't want to do that, though. He's all set. No matter how good he'd be at it, he still has to take care of these stupid kids back at UA school, you know? So I just, the economical nature of that exchange and that scene, it just tells you so much about him so quickly. And that's all I needed to see to feel satisfied with Shota Aizawa this week. I loved it.
You know what he needs to be, what would make him a beast as just a pro? All he needs is speed. Because he literally has an ability to make you powerless. And all he has to do is get to you and just kill you. If he could just like stab your heart out in like 2 seconds, you're done.
I mean, he kind of does do that. Yeah, you know. I like him as a teacher, though.
I don't know. I don't ever see him as is he a killer? I don't think I've seen him kill people. I know some of the heroes do, but I don't think I've ever really seen Eraser kill anybody.
There's really not too many.
I think they're quite vague about that. Yeah.
I mean, Endeavor killing people? If you don't think Endeavor's killing people when he's showering people with fire, you must...
Endeavor's a dick.
There's a difference between like people and Nomus, though. I mean, we watched him blow up a bunch of fucking monsters today. Endeavor, if Aizawa was out there doing the thing, he'd presumably be doing it by the letter of the law. which is don't kill people, Rayshawn. I feel like we have this conversation 3 times a week.
It's so true.
They are normal people, ain't they? They just like got more quirks, and that made them turn into nobles, ain't they? Ain't they like original people at first?
They're corpses.
Oh, they're corpse. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and actually, this next part of it kind of plays into the whole corpse thing because Aizawa and President Mike's friend from that we saw the flashback of last season. What's that character's name? Do you remember, Kelly? I want to say it's Toya, but that's not. That's the other Todoroki.
No. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I cannot recall.
We suck, but we did a podcast.
It's like that white-haired guy who originally had the goggles. Like I can picture him, but I can't think of his name.
Yeah. Well, so long as we're on the same page as that, then I guess.
Can I say something real quick?
Yep.
I think that them bringing in that scientist dude was real cool. I like them figuring out who was the person behind the non-moves and him who creating the double quirks and stuff and shit.
Yeah, the doctor.
And them basically explaining like how he's basically doing that. So I was like, oh shit.
There is so much that happened, and I guess we'll just pause right here to mention it briefly. There's a lot of information in these episodes, both from like a dialogue perspective, but also from a visual perspective where everything is written out on the screen in Japanese and they translate those as well. So I've had a lot of people say to me in the Discord, and I goof on these guys and I'm like, learn how to read faster, you dummies. But I'm totally on the same page as those guys. There's too much information to take it all in all at the same time. I had to pause a couple of times to get through the episode on the rewatch today, just because I wanted to be like, all right, Team Edgeshot, or another version of it too is in the beginning of the episode when they like describe all of the different villains and like their factions and how they're grouped and stuff like that. It's just too much information on the screen with words attached to it while the dialogue is going on. So it's like you have to read 2, sometimes 3 things at the same time. So for those struggling with subtitles, you are not alone. Okay? Okay.
Well, I had no problems with it, but...
My name's Kelly. I'm a pretty girl. No one makes fun of me. I read fast. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, whatever, Kelly.
You know what I thought was a weird quirk that it seemed like nobody had?
What?
The ability to sense people. I feel like that would be like one of the number 1 quirks you'll at least try to look for if you're in an organization.
I mean, Jiro is there. She can sense people with her fucking crazy earjack ears, right?
But I'm talking about for like the villains,
the bad guys.
It just seemed weird that they didn't know they were there, or maybe they did. I guess we don't really know.
Months of careful planning.
Because the scientist did seem like he knew they were coming.
Well, I don't think he did.
No, he had no idea. He just and they said
he
it
was
too.
Surprised.
Yeah, he's like, oh man, I forgot. I've been so caught up in my work that my double's been doing all of my work for me for a while now. Meanwhile, his double's getting captured upstairs, and he's like, oh. What's going on here? And then Mirko busts through his door. So, yeah. Genuine.
I have a question.
He might need to be ranked higher.
Number 5.
Oh my god.
He ranked higher. I don't know who knew the rank.
Second episode, crazy. But when they found the doctor and Aizawa used his quirk erasure on him, I know that he was like a double from Twice, but wouldn't that erase the double because that body is the product of someone's quirk? Or I guess not, because you'd have to actually be looking at Twice. Like that was confusing.
But it affected it some way though.
Because it like erased his quirk on the double. That was odd to me.
I thought that him decomposing was like the erasure of the fact that he was a double at all. You know what I mean? I didn't think it was
I think that's his quirk. He has a regenerative quirk.
I thought they said he was quirkless, though.
No, they said he lied about being quirkless, yeah. Because he's, like, on the record.
Again,
but I feel like if you have the quirk he has, you wouldn't be as afraid as he was.
I mean...
Well, he didn't want all of his work and all of his time and all of his, his lab was like his life, and they were invading, so he was scared. He was want to get captured.
What are you going to regenerate from if Endeavor jet burns your ass to nothing?
Kills you.
You're dead.
Or if you're like in jail, that's not gonna. What are you gonna do?
But I mean, I'm just talking about the Miracle Girl. I mean, she could have kicked him, and he still would have been alive.
It's not gonna hurt. People are afraid of pain.
Well, I mean, if his regeneration is the same as the Nomu's, I'm thinking he would have been okay.
Well, we don't know if it's the same.
I don't know, dude. I feel like all three of us are making shit up about how his quirk works. So I'll say that as a way to say, listen, audience member, you know better. That's good. You probably do, because we're talking out of our asses. Anyway, President Mike confronts him, asking why he used his brilliant science for what he did to Oboro. 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 Which still,
there we go.
I feel like that's not the name that I was calling him last year. But it's okay. Marco busts her way through toward the morgue, warning Endeavor as she comes across a horde of Nomu in her path. Suddenly, a drill Nomu, which scared the fuck out of me, by the way, that drill Nomu. Suddenly, a drill Nomu emerges from the floor, stabbing itself directly into Ujiko, revealing him to merely be one of Twice's doubles. Later, Marco breaks through the laboratory, completely crushing Johnny, John-chan, and destroying several canisters. She sees Ujiko, who screams out in fear as Mirko asks if he is the real one. There was a lot of horny people on the internet the last 2 weeks, and it's all because of Mirko's legs. And she, I guess just the rest of her is cool too, but I don't know. Mirko's one of those few characters where I'm like, I'm glad she's here. I'm glad she's around. She's fun to watch. She whoops ass. Way more ass than I realized that she whoops. But I feel like I don't really know her at all. I would like to see some Mirko backstory to like make me like her even more before she becomes like this badass kicking the heads off of Nomus and like licking the blood off her face in the heat of battle and shit. Like, Mirko's pretty bad, man. I remember you having a pretty big crush on Mirko last year, Kel.
Well, listen, I just can recognize a strong woman, so it came through to me. And also, I think her personality is very similar to Bakugo's, and you know that I'm like a Bakugo stan, so.
Yeah, she seems like a more positive version of Bakugo, I'd say.
Just said similar.
Yeah.
I'd say the same. They're just similar.
Did she give you a boner, Ray?
This is a safe space.
Oh, she was pretty good. I fucked with her. I thought she came off as real badass.
Hell yeah.
Going with this thing, because I was watching another show yesterday with badass females, and I was like, oh, this is just going with the same thing.
What show was that?
It was called The Ozark.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you're watching Ozark right now. I've never watched it, but my mom really loves Ozark.
Yeah, it's a drug dealing show.
Oh.
And they just got like 3 females that are like making shit happen. And then when I seen that, I was like, why is she? I thought, because I was like, did they say she ranked 6 or 4? I'm like, it was like 3 people that was higher than her. And I was like, she looked like she's doing more work than they doing. Like,
agree.
I think when I seen her arm go and she still was fighting, I was like, okay, that's what I'm talking about.
Even before her arm thing happens, when she's just running down the hallway and like all the Nomu start coming out of their little hangars, and she's like I got scared for her, and I was like, oh shit, you don't want to be caught alone with all these Nomus. What's gonna happen to you, Mirko? And she kills all of them as she runs by each of them, just by crushing their heads, and it's fucking awesome. And then they do like the more in-depth breakdown of like, we have upper tier, mid tier, low tier Nomus, and then we have high end Nomus even after that, and then we have like these 6 special Nomus. Well, I'm like, Christ, there's so much information in these. I think mostly the second episode is where most of that information comes in. I could be wrong, but I don't know. I feel like I could watch it a 3rd and 4th time and still not be able to fully comprehend. And then I'm like, do I have holes in my brain? Is my eyesight that bad? Is my dyslexia acting up? I don't think dyslexia acts up, but you guys get my point. Either way.
I like the fact that they're using the pro heroes instead of the students, because now we can kind of see the pro heroes at their best, because they have to be at their best right now. And that's why we seeing them fight it like this. Because I don't know how, it's kind of making it seem like I don't know how some of these students would fight some of these Nomus. Like if some of them was caught in that same position, oh, it's over.
Yeah. I mean, there's a sprinkling of students in the second episode, right?
Yeah, but they're more on like the outskirts, and I think Deku team, they were like going around door picking people, like evacuating people. So they had them just like, oh, you guys can do the police job type shit.
Yeah,
If
the stuff
I'm-
that's not going to get you murdered.
Right. If I'm correct, which I'm pretty sure I am, there are 4 students on the front line at the villa, the mountain villa.
Yes.
And I did write them down because it was 2 1A and 2 1B students. So for 1A, it's Tokoyami and Kaminari. And then for 1B, it was Komori, which is the mushroom girl. And then Honenuku, the mudman guy.
Wasn't it because of long range or something?
It's because they could do wide range attacks to take out a lot of people at once. So they're on the front, like they're up in everyone's business up there.
But
Yeah.
Miss Midnight's like, don't worry about it, children. You get in there, you do a little bit of damage up front, then we'll get you in the back
Get
again.
in,
Don't worry about
get
it.
out.
It's that woman's mantra.
Yep.
So we'll move on to 115.
I got something funny because what you just said that was funny, but
What about her getting dick down?
not even that. But you remember that part? I don't know if it was the hospital or the compound, but the concrete dude was breaking down the building, right? I
Yeah.
thought that was Mount Lady.
Yeah, it's the villa.
I thought that was Mount Lady doing that. I thought that would have been a nice moment for her if she was doing that.
I mean, Cementos can control cement, so like let a man shine. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd say they made the right call. I'm not even sure where Mount Lady is. Did we see her? Did we
She's
see
at the villa.
Oh, good. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I do remember seeing her in one of the little like they're running
In like
at
the
each
running
other.
scene.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember seeing her there. So yeah, we'll go to 115, episode 115, Mirko, the number 5 hero. Or how do you say it in Japanese, Kelly?
Miracle.
Good job.
Thank you.
Mirko reports to the heroes that she found some tough-looking Nomus in addition to Kyudai. I don't know what Kyudai is, but we'll just move on. And Kyudai is the doctor?
Was that his first name?
Maybe.
I thought it was Ujiko.
So did I. That's what he's listed as in the top, Dr. Ujiko, but then they start referring to him as Kyudai.
That's
Whatever. Mirko reports to the heroes that she found some tough-looking Nomus in addition to Kyudai, and that she'll kick him to see if he is the real deal. Crust makes his way through Mirko's location, but several Nomus...
Crust.
Oh, that was the shield guy, wasn't it?
Mm.
Yep. Crust makes his way through Mirko's location, but several Nomus lying in the corridor and attack him. Great sentence. He manages to find a passageway leading outside. Meanwhile, Mirko attacks Dr. Ujiko, who laments over the production of Nomus, slowed down in the absence of All for One. He then pulls out a device to activate the high ends. Mirko tries to stop him, but is pushed out by a small Nomu named Mocha, who has a similar quirk to Twice. She kicks that motherfucker, but she kills it, but it is long enough to distract her from Ujiko, who activates the high ends. As the high ends prepare to destroy all the heroes, Crust arrives at the lab. Crust is the worst fucking hero name. Also, his
I hate
power
it.
seems totally like...
Crusto.
It don't seem like it make him that much stronger.
He literally gets pushed back by like some fucking by one of the high end Nomus. Mirko at the other end of the hallway is taking on like 7 at the same time, and he's like, "I can't even pull this one."
And I
like,
swear he was ranked higher than her.
I don't
think
think
that
so. I think he's 6.
I think
he's right
below.
after her.
Oh, I thought he was ranked 3. Maybe I got it wrong.
Let's just really quick. It's Endeavor's number 1, and then was Best Genius number 2.
He was, but I think
But then he's like MIA. Who knows?
dead
right?
in a duffel bag somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere.
But I think he still holds the
then
spot
it's
until he's
Edshot.
confirmed dead. I think is how
right.
that
He's
works.
just MIA right now. Maybe he's on vacation. Then it's Edshot. But then who is number 4?
Is it Gangorka or is he number 10?
I thought he was. Oh, and then I know that there's like that old man knight is in the top 10. Like that old man.
Oh yeah,
And then there's the wash machine.
she's number 8, I believe. Washa,
Gendered washing
washa,
machine?
washa. So, Crust.
Yeah, I don't know where Crust is.
Crust sucks. She kills Mocha. As the high ends prepare to destroy all the heroes, Crust arrives at the lab. Mirko manages to pick out where Ujiko is hiding with her rabbit ears. She heads to Kyudai's location. Like, what's with the interchanging of Kyudai and Dr. Ujiko? Just pick one and go with it. She heads to Dr. Ujiko's location, but the high ends intercept her. Mirko uses her ultimate moves to take down some of the Nomus. And all of those ultimate moves were like lunar kick, lunar ring,
lunar circle.
And she's got the power of rabbit. Rabbit in Japanese is Usagi. Usagi is the name of Sailor Moon in Sailor Moon. So I think that's maybe why they keep doing the moon-based stuff for the rabbit hero, because the moon hero was named after a rabbit. Does that make sense? That's what I thought.
That's interesting. Anyway.
I've heard that the writer of My Hero Academia is like a dweeb, so there are like a lot of nerdy references in there. So that wouldn't surprise me.
Like everything in this show is named after a Star Wars planet. Like everything. Dagobah Beach is the most obvious one. Jakku Hospital in these 2 episodes. Jakku is a planet in the new Star Wars trilogy.
Never watched Star Wars.
Yeah, I know, because you're too good for that. You've never been criticized once in your life, and everything's so great for you. I know, Kelly. We all know.
I love being so well known. Thank you, Kyle.
No, it's just by me. Just by me.
Yeah. No, that's why I'm thanking you.
Oh.
Exactly.
Well, you're welcome. You're my friend.
Thank you.
In the Gunga, stop laughing at me. It's a serious business.
Sorry. Tell me more about the Gunga.
Gunga. Even that, dude, Gunga Mountain Villa, that's short for, I just dawned on me. Gunga is short for Gungan, and that's a race in Star Wars, Gungans who lived underwater on Naboo. That's funny, except they're mountains. In the Gunga Mountain Villa, Skeptic yells to the other members that the heroes are attacking as the mansion gets cracked in the middle. Cementos? We've done this before. Cementos uses his quirk to tear open the villain's mansion. Edshot orders the heroes to not let the villains get away. That's why they put him in charge, because he has got some fucking valuable advice like that to dispense. As Denki turns around, Kyoka hoped for him to complete the mission quickly and safely. Kyoka in this case is actually named Jiro. Okay, I don't know why they keep alternating back and forth between first and last names. Just use them both. Kyoka, Jiro, then I know. Then I can pick. Anyway, as Denki turns around, Kyoka hoped for him to complete the mission quickly and safely. This was the first time, I guess, this season, and I'm sure it'll happen like 30 more times, that I started shedding tears at My Hero Academia in an episode randomly.
Oh my God, stop it. It was so beautiful.
Fucking cute, dude. It was so cute. Because basically Miss Midnight's like, you got to put what you love most at the forefront of your heart. Pretend like you're fighting for that right now. And his brain automatically goes to Jiro because he's obviously a fucking romantic. Look at the kid. And then,
he's so cute.
As he's freaking out, this was also another little moment that, like, him having a crush on Jiro is adorable. Don't get me wrong. But it's like compounded when Tokoyami's like, hey, man, I see you freaking out. Just remember, you're a hell of a guitar player. You're a great guy. He's like,
yeah, you're awesome.
What the fuck, man? I could have used that 3 months ago when we were practicing for the festival. Hilarious.
Don't tell me that now. Too little, too late.
I don't need your praise. I don't even have my guitar around. But the little flashback to him being like practicing really hard, and his calluses on his fingers are hurting, and they're like, no, let's just keep going. We got to get this right. We got to get it right for Jiro. And I'm like, yeah,
it was really cute.
You two got to get it right for Jiro. She cares, man. She fucking cares.
Yeah. And she like the only one that can sense probably that happening with him.
That's true, because she can hear everything from so far away.
It's just such a nice payoff, too, because what is it? Was it the first half of the episode they focus on her with that little moment, and then the second half it's Kaminari having his moment? Like, at first I'm like, oh no, Jiro's like worried about her not boyfriend Kaminari. And then Kaminari's like, oh no, I'm worried about my not girlfriend Jiro. I'm like, y'all just better be boyfriend and girlfriend now, I hope. But Tokoyami couches it.
They shipped.
They are, but Tokoyami tries to couch it. He's like, he just cares about all of his friends from the bottom of his heart.
Oh, yeah, he did.
From the bottom of his kokoro.
Because I can see why he said that. Because I think in the beginning he said like, "Dang, where's the rest of my class?" or something. He said.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was kind of like, why am I here while everyone else gets to be a little further away?
So, like, I guess I didn't remember exactly how Dinky's power worked, but he's like a lightning rod, basically. Perfect for this set of circumstances because a member of the Paranormal Liberation Front unleashes an ultimate move called Supreme Discharge, Thundernet. Thundernet sounds like a fucking cool name of like an action movie. And attempts to release a wide-ranged attack onto the heroes. But his electricity is absorbed by Kaminari, who throws one fucking finger in the air and says, "I'm the best." Swag, 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 swag. And he absorbs all of the electricity in his finger and all of his body. And then I imagine he's going to discharge it back at somebody. I don't know. I'll see how it goes next episode, I guess. But Kaminari is the hero for today. And I was just like,
yeah, that was awesome.
Like, remember when he used to get electrocuted and walk around and be like,
Hey.
Be like,
hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
Short-circuited. Yeah.
I forgot the hey.
He looked so cool.
When
Honestly, like, the
even
way they
I
animated
think
that.
his name is Beast. Like his hero name. I like his hero name too.
Charge Bolt? Sarjo?
So Charge Bull is what we've always known him as, but everyone started calling him just Charge today. And I was wondering, I'm like, is it just short for Charge Bull, or is he gone from Charge Bolt to just Charge?
Well, when it showed him the little clip, like in between, it says Charge Bolt.
He charges to the front of the group.
Oh my god.
Double
so
meaning
true.
Of the word.
The layers.
It's like an onion or a cake.
Yeah, the layers. You're unpeeling it.
I thought you were gonna say like he was absorbing his ability, like he was charging.
Yeah, that too. Look at that.
Triple meaning, baby. It went from Charge Bolt to Charge. He charges to the front to face the danger head on to protect his friends. Also, his electricity power allows him to charge himself up with Homeboy's taser power or whatever. Triple, except not really. I'm pretty sure that's still just 2.
Yeah, it was just 2, but that's okay.
I wonder if that was part of the plan because they seemed like they knew. The heroes didn't stop when he came out and was like, "I'm about to shoot my final attack." I wonder if they knew that's what he was there for.
When they first go to that guy, I was like, "Who the fuck is this guy? He has a cigarette hanging out of his mouth and shit." I don't remember him from last season like at all, but apparently the heroes knew he was going to take a step forward. So,
well, because Kaminari did say like mission accomplished. Neutralizing one of the boss's powers. So I think that they did like anticipate that they would need Kaminari for that. So they must have known that there was going to be an electricity guy.
Yeah. They also do a big detailed breakdown of like all the boss structure and like there's this many armies and they have this many, each have a lieutenant.
I glossed
the lieutenant
over
has
that
3
so
8.
quick.
Dude, so did I the first time. I like stopped to read it today. I was like, so there's 6
But they all was in the
teams.
mansion, wasn't they?
Yeah, but they all weren't like standing there ready at the fucking fight, so getting the drop on them was enough. But it's like each of them has a lieutenant. Each of the lieutenant has 3 aides. Each of those aides current or previously led their own base somewhere in Japan of other villains. All of them led a base except one. And I'm like, all right, that's really weird. What's up with that one? Am I going to meet him? Is it just weird math? Like, I don't know. They did a good job or an over-the-top job pointing that part of it out. So I wonder if it's going to factor in. I mean, Kaminari's got 1 off the board now already, so maybe my math's already evened out. But yeah, that's episode 115 of My Hero Academia.
Yeah, it was great.
Let me ask you guys. I mean, I usually ask about new songs for the new seasons. You guys notoriously are skippers of songs, so
it's all right.
Not even, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, after the first episode, I started skipping the whole.
Same.
I think it was like 20% or 80% of people have quirks or some shit. I was like, oh, this is
do that every time.
Part of the theme. I thought I watched it the first time, and I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, oh, this is part of the theme. Like, I don't need this. Fuck
I don't have time for that. You know what I mean? I'm like, I remember the first time you told me. Yeah, exactly.
Ugh, you fucking guys, you're all like, I don't want no bread with my sandwiches. I just want the innards of the sandwiches. I don't want.
Well, I will say,
I feel like that's like the lettuce. You can just take the lettuce off and still.
No,
eat it.
motherfucker, it's the bread. It's on either side of the stuff you're in between that you're trying to consume, man. It's definitely not the fucking lettuce. Of all the things in the sandwich you could have accused it of being, you had to pick the fucking lettuce. You couldn't have said like the mustard.
Said the mayonnaise.
Yeah, okay, that would have made way more sense.
I feel like the lettuce is the part I don't like, so I don't know. Maybe
I like lettuce
because you're a rabbit.
I did like the new animation for the beginning. Like I'm not like a big fan of the songs or whatever, but I thought it was cute, like with all the little cartoony like bam bam.
Some real
things.
Yeah,
I
some
thought
real
it was
superhero
cute.
shit. Adam West aesthetics. I couldn't even tell you how the last song or the final song goes. I have no idea.
Me either.
Something
really
sad-ish.
Boring.
I know the first one's
bland.
Like
Nice.
Starts on an F sharp, in case anyone's wondering at home.
Nobody's wondering.
Hey, you don't know that.
I know that.
So understanding that both of you shut up, Kelly. Understanding that both of you guys have read the manga without spoiling anything, do you have any specific hopes or things that you're looking forward to seeing in season 6, hopefully?
I don't have any spoilers. I have these
don't
feelings.
Spoil.
Yeah. So I don't remember really reading this chapter, but I feel like the thing that I think is going to happen might be a spoiler, so I don't know if I should say it or not.
All right, good. Just don't say it then.
Yeah,
it sounds like you can't follow the rules to this question. Anything in particular you might be looking forward to, Kelly, without spoiling anything?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited. I remember that when I was reading the manga, this came out over a year ago. So I was like freaking out about some of this stuff and nobody I know like reads it. So I was like, oh my God, freaking out alone. It just becomes very intense and it stays very intense for a long time. So be prepared for a lot of action. And I know you said that you cried in this episode, Kyle. And if that's the case, I mean, like, you need to buy like bulk tissues because I cried while reading the manga sometimes in the upcoming parts, and I'm not, you know what I'm like. Like, I'm like, get over it, quit crying.
You know what I'm like. Okay.
I'm looking forward to it, but I'm also dreading it.
You know what I'm waiting for? I'm waiting for Shigaraki to come wake up. I think that's interesting. When I seen that scene, it made me automatically think of Dragon Ball Z when you have Boo basically stuck in that thing. I don't know. Well, I guess you can say a chamber too. So then you're basically trying to, and you know Shigaraki's about to be nasty when he come out of there.
He's been developing for 4 months in the mountains or something. Yeah.
Then we got to see what he looked like. Then we got a scene before, like wasn't it a future scene before that came? Like showed him sitting down.
I'm pretty sure that scene you're talking about is a finale from the last season. Is the finale of last season. Like that's how they leave the My Villain Academia arc after he wins his battle. I think. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it matters. But so I think my biggest hope for this season is I want to see Deku kick ass unexpectedly. Because I feel like the only way this show ever works, like they go through great lengths to be like, we got to protect the kids, safety of the kids, think of the kids first. We still need their help, whatever. But somehow Deku, Bakugo, Todoroki, they always find themselves like right in the thick of everything. So hopefully we'll have a similar thing for Deku this season, and he gets to show off why he is All Might's successor. I hope, maybe again. Listen, people know we mentioned it at the top. I mention it like literally every single fucking week. For the last however many weeks, we have launched another podcast where we give advice on certain Reddit threads. Ask Reddit, would you rathers? Am I the assholes? Reddit advice, whatever. And we try to give advice sincerely. It's just sometimes it's goofy advice, but what I thought would be a good thing for us to do today is to take the advice segment format that we have on our other show. We do like 3, 4, 5 topics in a show, whatever it is, and apply it to our favorite anime, Boku no Hero Academia, today. So, you guys down for this experiment? We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm
For
down.
sure.
All right, cool. I'm gonna cue up the music, and you guys will hear it in a second. It's like real, like chill. But then there's like a pan flute or something in there, and you're like, "What? I feel cultured as well." Waka chuck, waka chuck, waka chuck, waka chuck.
That's great. It's like I'm there.
It's like I'm there.
Sorry.
From r/superhero advice. Any advice/tips for sneak attacking the enemy base? Hi all. Me, 16 male, has been recruited with a bunch of professional superheroes to launch a secret attack on an enemy base. I am very scared. I am only in my second year of high school and have just recently found a girl that I like a lot. I've never been very adequate with my powers. However, they can produce a lot of damage in the right circumstances. I fear that I will be drawn to the front of the group during this sneak attack. Now, as I've already said, it is a sneak attack, so that's one tip I think the heroes are employing well. But what other tips would you have for a guy like me who's about to embark on his first secret attack on an enemy base? Should I bring anything specific? Anything I should or shouldn't do or say? Anybody I should or shouldn't look in the eye when I get to the battlefield before I fuck them up, hopefully, or shit my pants? I just made all that up on the spot, but I imagine this is written from the perspective of one Dinky Kaminari. Any tips, advice on how to best sneak up on your enemies before you kill them?
Well,
Who wants to start?
I'll start.
Of course you'll start, because you're all about giving advice where you kill people. I love it. This makes sense. Go.
I was just trying to do my job. But
It's funny because I say that to you like once a week right now, and you're like, you always seem like you don't know what I'm talking about. But on the advice pod, if you haven't listened to it yet, Rayshawn's advice like 65% of the time is to just kill the other person.
We've actually had to be like, no, Rayshawn, don't
Like
do that.
multiple times. No, Rayshawn, you don't murder.
first thing you need to do is you need research. You need to know your enemy. You need to know basically everything about them. You need to know their abilities. You need to know their time. You need to know what they're doing, who is there. Then you got to know about your own group of people you're with. You need to know their abilities, how they're going to counteract the abilities of them. Then you have to come up with an estimation of where you're going to place yourself in that. Are you the person strong enough to go in their head first? Me personally, I'm more like a 10th or 12th guy. I like to let a few people run in there, do what they got to do. Because if they die, those people are more or less going to be stronger than me. So if they die, I know it's time to go. It's time for me to get the fuck to the back of the fucking line and let more people run in there and do what they need to do.
Some solid advice.
So your plan is let 10 of your friends die before you decide if you want to go in there at all. If they die, go home.
Most likely, that was the 10 best they hired in me in the rankings. So if they can't beat them, what I'm supposed to do?
What if they send you first? You don't have any say in this, rookie.
Oh, I don't know. I'll probably do some bullshit like some white person thing.
Sprain your
like,
ankle?
I was going to say, what are you going to do? Twist your ankle as you walk to the front of the group?
Yeah.
Like, my ankle.
No,
Charlie
you gotta do
horse.
it when they all start running. When they all started going, that's when I was like, oh shit, and fall on the ground. And
Pretend to
just
get
roll.
trampled by Mount
I
Lady.
was like, dang. They be like, what happened to Rayshawn? We're like, oh.
Nice.
I'll come back after we done won and be like, damn, y'all see all that shit I had to do? Fuck.
They're like, what? Sit on the sidelines and ice your ankle?
Man. I was like,
All
that
right,
was
so-
work too.
that was good
enemy-
advice.
Yeah, enemy opposition research, right? Very important. And, that's what a lot of last season really was, right? Like Hawks just doing the dirty, getting down with the Meta Liberation Army. Kelly, what's your advice for a young man who may be about to march into his death while committing his first B&E on an enemy?
Okay. So I feel like Rayshawn's advice was way more practical, like things you can do long term to prepare. My advice is way more about like getting yourself into the mindset for like the slaughter that's about to unfold in front of you. So my advice would be to get good quality headphones and keep one little, one of those in there and have like a kick-ass playlist going, okay? Like, when people are at the gym and they're like really pumped at the gym and you've got a good song and it lets you do like an extra set of reps, like you've got to have some like violent, gory, horrible music playing that really gets your blood pumping, okay? And to make it more fun for when you disassociate later because you've just murdered people, turn it into a game. Give yourself a goal. Be
headshot.
Yes. I want to get 5 headshots. I want to take out 14 shoulders if I can down 10 people. Like, even like little ones, like I want to get someone wearing purple. Like, give yourself some goals, make it fun, and then you can unload it all later in therapy.
Yeah, all right. Perfect.
And if you play Tetris after a traumatic event, it helps prevent PTSD.
That's hilarious.
That is fact.
Where'd you learn that from?
That is legitimate fact, okay?
Where'd you learn that?
Well, I work with veterans, so I know a lot about PTSD. But I just pick up things on the internet. I'm on the internet a lot. I have a plethora of little knowledges. It's something about the rapid eye movement going back and forth in a horizontal plane that helps prevent a lot of the more traumatic psychological effects of PTSD. So if something bad happens to you and you're like, shit, I hope this doesn't traumatize me, play some Tetris.
Got it. So if a veteran grabs me by the dick, play Tetris. Got it.
You know what's so funny? When you said a song you should play, the only song I thought of was like 50 Cent Many Men.
Oh, dude,
Many
that'd
men
totally be on my fucking list.
Upon me. Oh my God, that'd be so good.
Dude, that's a fucking jam right there.
Yeah, I'm serious. That's a good one. Stick it on the playlist.
They be trying to take my life away.
And then I feel like that's how it work right for that moment. Because
many men. This is such a good song.
Step on me, Lord. I won't cry no more. Oh, look to the sky no more. Have mercy on me. Have mercy on my soul. So when my heart turn cold, have mercy on many men. Many men. Bam, 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 bam. What a fucking good. I haven't heard that song in a long time, dude.
Yeah, that was a nice shout, Rayshawn.
Oof, that was good.
That was nice.
I feel like, Many Men would be on my list, but like probably 60% of my list would be Iron Maiden, probably a Judas Priest song.
I already have a playlist for this exact purpose.
For slaughtering and purging? No, that's
yeah, I was going to say, for slaughtering villains or like going to the gym?
Well, I don't go to the gym, so, well, it's just that, like, I have
Kelly
a playlist.
Ain't a killer, but don't push her.
Yeah, don't test me. I have a playlist that I call Hot Garbage because it's just, like, a lot of hot garbage music. It's really offensive and, like, really trashy and really violent. And I really genuinely like it, and I listen to it a lot. But sometimes when I'm, like, in a sketchy situation, like, let's say I'm, like, walking somewhere and it's, like, dark, I'll put it in one ear because it makes me feel like if somebody, I'm like, fucking try me right now. Like, you know what I mean?
Like, it just, like, you gotta get your pump up music.
I just feel like if someone were to attack me, yeah, I would be like prepared.
100%.
Yeah.
All right. So I think my advice isn't as good as yours. I was gonna go like the opposite route and be like, bring Neosporin, bring bandages because you might cut yourself.
Listen, that's still good advice.
That's okay.
Hey,
yeah.
If we're heroes and I see you bring that, I'm be like, bro, get out of here.
No way. You're gonna be like, hey,
bring the nurse lady. Bro, we'd rather have a nurse. Why are you bringing Band-Aids?
Bro,
this would be bad for Rayshawn because he'd be like, I sprained my ankle, and you could be like, I've got an icy hot patch. Pop it on there and send him back in.
That's why you're mad. That's why you're shitting on my advice because it's gonna undercut your advice of playing dead.
You're good.
God damn right.
Nice.
So yeah, that's our advice. Ray's is play dead. Kelly's is have a good playlist. Mine's is Neosporin.
I got one more advice.
Okay.
I want to hear it.
Another advice would be, this is only if you're like the badass. You have personal experience with this is what you're saying. Okay. No, this is just my thoughts. Like, if you badass and you're just like, you know what? I'm not about to waste no time with this shit. You rush right into that bitch and you just you kill the strongest motherfucker in there. And you
Dude,
just
How do you know
how did
who
we
it is,
start?
though?
How did we start this, dude? What did I say? Rayshawn's advice routinely is just get in there and kill somebody. And sure enough, he said his second piece of advice, depending on how badass a person is getting in there and killing the strongest motherfucker you can right away.
I'm telling you, if you do
It's on
this,
brand.
you won't tell me this will not. This will break the whole morale of the villains. You have basically broke all the morale within one moment.
That's
and then
true.
it's like, who the fuck wants to fuck with me now?
I mean, you think about it, Kaminari might be that guy. I mean, OP, original poster of this advice post, might be in that position right now. Man, he just absorbed all that electrification from home.
We seen like 4 of the main villains in there, and there's no way it was that dude with the lightning.
Oh, he's not the main guy, but he's a guy.
He was like a leader guy, yeah. One of them.
And now Kaminari, some 15-year-old male from Kyoto, Japan, or whatever the fuck, he's out there dishing damage, dealing out damage, dealing dishes of damage dishes, if you will.
Dang.
This just reminded me when I was talking about Eraserhead. This would have been a good Eraserhead moment, because he could have stopped the quirk, ran up, and just stabbed him right in the throat. Now you ain't got to worry about him.
I mean, but you need a Eraserhead dealing with the Nomus, so.
Yeah, see? He got a nice quirk. He didn't worry about somebody not trying to steal his quirk, because that's something I would try to steal. That might come into play later, to be honest.
I know. I'm always surprised that they didn't try to take it from him, honestly. I mean, I have like a little would you rather, but we don't have to keep it in. And I'm not going to put in I'm not putting in all the work that Kyle did, sorry. But let's say that you were offered the opportunity to be part of a gigantic hero heist. And you get to pick which team you were on. Would you rather be Team Edgeshot or Team Endeavor? Which place would you rather go to?
Team Endeavor.
Endeavor, I have to.
You'd rather be at the hospital with the Nomus and stuff?
No, he's just because
100%.
he's the number 2 hero. It just number 1. It just makes me feel a little bit more safer. And prior to if I actually work with him, this is my mindset. Like I haven't worked with him before, so I don't know how he acts. But probably after I like realizing how he acts, I'll probably be like, nah, probably should have went on the other one because he's kind of an asshole. But other than that, like if I'm thinking like which one is gonna probably get me out of here, most likely, probably Endeavor. Like, and I'll probably stay behind his ass too.
I mean, I feel like if I were assigned, I'd probably be on the evacuation or support side of things, right? So if I'm running around with Deku and Todoroki, like helping evacuate condos and houses.
Oh, if you're with them,
area,
you know some action coming.
All right,
I wouldn't want to be around Deku.
I wouldn't even want to be with them
right.
for
Keep
real.
me away from Deku and the rest of the boys from 1A. Good
it's like
point.
a bad
Great
luck
point.
magnet.
But if I'm doing the same shit as them, separate and independent of them, and in no way associated with them at all, so that way I don't get drawn into the bullshit at the end of the arc,
Yeah.
I'd probably go with that. It seems safer. All of those villains in the
With
same
your
place.
med kit.
Yeah, me and my Neosporin would be like, what's up, guys? Get out of town. The villains are coming. Bad stuff. Run.
They'd be
Oh,
like,
you caught yourself? Hold up. I got this. I've prepared exactly for this situation.
I just love that moment where you be like, oh, this shit done got real. I need to go.
There's always that option too. Yeah, if the Nomus bust out and start causing damage throughout the city, I can be like, "Hey, you mind if I just like hide in your basement with you guys? Because I'm scared too."
I'd be like, they didn't tell me nothing about this.
Just take off your hero costume real quick and pretend you're a civilian.
A civilian.
You know?
That'd be
Evacuate me out of here.
How would you think if you were a civilian, you saw that? Like, you'd be like, oh, you're not a hero now? What about all my taxes you were collecting?
Tenya Ida like dropping off my fucking my jet boots and my cool mask, my Ingenium fucking costume and shit. They're like, that looks expensive. You're just gonna leave it in that trash barrel over there? Is everything okay, son?
You'd be like, I'm Kyle. I'm Kyle.
Nope.
Yeah.
Don't mind me. I'm just a guy with some Neosporin coming out of an alleyway. Nothing suspicious at all.
I'm just the class rep.
You make it seem like that's gonna be your quirk. Like you're gonna have Neosporin coming out your fingertips.
That's gonna do it for Super Dope Plus Ultra this week. Dragon Ball Super Dope. I don't know. I don't know what to call this anymore because it's all on the one feed. But Plus Ultra, we'll do these occasionally. Probably got a handful more before the year's up, but we'll see.
Every 2 episodes, guys. Be ready.
Nah, it seems like a bit much. At most, I can't see it being more than like once a month. This other shit. I mean, I'm sure everyone just heard me say that and be like, there's no Dragon Ball at all going on right now, Kyle. Well, let me tell you a secret, Mr. and Miss Listener, and it inspired why we spun off into its own feed at all in the first place last year. is because when you convolute your feed with an entirely different topic than the one that you have built your feed identity around, people who showed up for Dragon Ball and are now forced to listen to you labor through a My Hero Academia recap, they tend to stop listening. So we'll do these for fun every once in a while, but we're a Dragon Ball show. So please don't get the wrong idea and think we're going to be doing each episode. Okay? That's a long way to say, fuck your hopes and dreams, Miss Listener, Mr. or Miss Listener.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've just got other shit to do, Kyle, so.
Yeah, that's the other thing, guys. Kelly can only record one night a week, and it has to be between the hours of 5 and 7:30. Otherwise, she turns into a fucking pumpkin.
In bed, like, yeah.
Yeah. Just the one night a week, grandma. Just those 2 hours. Monday is literally the worst day of the week for me to record anything, but we make it work because Kelly's the greatest.
Well, I can, like, change therapy around, and if Tuesday's better for you.
Honestly, Tuesday's not that much better either, but
okay, those are really it. Those are my only 2 days. So
I know.
Okay.
All right. Well, you guys are getting a behind the scenes peek at how the sausage gets made and how we're all secretly on the verge of killing each other, which is great. I think we're doing good. Make sure you rate and subscribe to the show. Dragon Ball Super Dope. Check out the Advice Pod. Links in the show notes.
You won't regret it. It's funny.
It is honestly the funnest thing.
Don't be a butt cheek.
Don't be a bunch. We're going to have to put that on a t-shirt, I guess, because that's like Ray Sean's fucking catchphrase from this show. It's been fun. Like, they're tough to edit because we all just say so much all the time, but...
yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, Kelly. It's a problem.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Honestly, guys, like, if I kept a ledger of who jumps on who the most or who interjects the most... It's a legit toss-up between just you two because I'm perfect.
Okay, Kyle. Whatever you say.
Anyway, Plus Ultra's been over for a minute now, so we'll see how much of that extra diatribe just made it into the public cut. Mostly us just talking about advice stuff and being funny or not funny. So, want that? Patreon.com/Dragon Ball Super Dope. You can join on at that $5 a month tier. Get a bunch of extras, early access to episodes. For instance, this episode, Didn't You Know, was up and available on Monday night, unedited. Could have had this bitch 3 days early, but you don't because you don't sign up for Patreon, and that makes me sad and poor. But it's whatever, dude. I'm done.
Yeah, you tell him.
Kelly, Ray Sean, any final thoughts?
No, I'm excited for the season. It's gonna be good.
Right?
See you next episode.
Gonna raise my hand with a peace sign, and I'll go and read some advice stuff.
That was a flashback. Oh, that was great. Nice.